The Ant and the Grasshopper. The ant and the grasshopper were best friends with very different personalities. The grasshopper would spend his days sleeping or playing his guitar while the ant would collect food and build his ant hill. Every now and then, the grasshopper would tell the ant to take a break. However, the ant would refuse and continue to complete his work. Soon winter came, making the days and nights cold. One day the colony of ants were busy trying to dry some grains of corn. The grasshopper, who was extremely weak and hungry, came up to the ants and asked, "Can you please give me a piece of corn?" The ant replied, "We worked hard for this corn all summer while you relaxed. Why should we give it to you?" The grasshopper was so busy singing and sleeping that he didn't have enough food to last winter. The grasshopper realized his mistake. Moral of the story: make use of opportunity while you have it.
Be wise while counting. One day in Akbar's court, someone asked the question, "How many crows are there in the city?" No one had the answer. Birbal quickly replied, 4,312. He was asked, how did he know this? Birbal said, "Send your man out to count the crows. If it is lesser than this number, then some crows are visiting their families elsewhere, and if it is more than this number, then some crows from outside are visiting their families here." Akbar was very happy with the answer and showered Birbal with gifts for his wit. Moral of the story: sometimes you have to learn to think outside of the box.
Moral stories from around the world. 1. The Golden Touch of Midas. Once upon a time, there was a Greek king, Midas. He was very rich and had lots of gold. He had a daughter, who he loved a lot. One day, Midas found an angel in need of help. He helped her, and in return she agreed to grant a wish. Midas wished that everything he touched would turn into gold. His wish was granted. On his way home, he touched rocks and plants and they turned into gold. As he reached home, in excitement he hugged his daughter, who turned into gold. Midas was devastated and he had learnt his lesson. Upon learning his lesson, Midas asked the angel to take his wish away. Moral of the story: greed is not good for you. Be content and satisfied to lead a happy and fulfilling life.
The Golden Touch of Midas. Once upon a time, there was a Greek king, Midas. He was very rich and had lots of gold. He had a daughter, who he loved a lot. One day, Midas found an angel in need of help. He helped her, and in return she agreed to grant a wish. Midas wished that everything he touched would turn into gold. His wish was granted. On his way home, he touched rocks and plants and they turned into gold. As he reached home, in excitement he hugged his daughter, who turned into gold. Midas was devastated and he had learned his lesson. Upon learning his lesson, Midas asked the angel to take his wish away. The Three Little Pigs. 3 little pigs were sent out into the world by their mother to learn. The 3 pigs, all decided to build a house on their own. The first pig built a house of straw because he didn't want to put in a lot of effort and was lazy. The second pig was a little less lazy than the first and he made a house of sticks. The third pig was hard-working and he put in lots of effort and built a house of brick and stone. One day a wolf came to attack them. He huffed and puffed and blew the house of straw. He then huffed and puffed and blew the house the sticks. He huffed and puffed at the house of bricks, but eventually was out of breath and left. Moral of the story: always work hard and it will pay off. Don't try to take shortcuts to make things work.
Prepositions are short words like on, in, to, that usually stand in front of nouns, sometimes also in front of gerund verbs. Even advanced learners of English find prepositions difficult, as a one-to-one translation is usually not possible. One preposition in your native language might have several translations depending on the situation. There are hardly any rules as to when to use which preposition. The only way to learn prepositions is looking them up in a dictionary, reading a lot in English literature, and learning useful phrases off by heart.
The Tortoise and the Hare. This is an extremely popular story about a hare and a tortoise. The hare is an animal that is known to move quickly, while a tortoise is one to move slowly. One day, the hare challenged the tortoise to a race simply to prove that he was the best. The tortoise agreed. The tortoise won the race while the hare napped. Most importantly, he did it with humility and without arrogance. Moral of the story: when you work hard and persevere, you can achieve your goals. Slow and steady wins the race.
The Boy Who Cried Wolf. A farmer asked his son to take their herd of sheep grazing every day. While the boy watched over the sheep, he got bored and decided to have some fun. So, he shouted, "Wolf! Wolf!" Upon hearing this, the villagers ran to help him chase the wolf away. As they reached him, they realized that there was no wolf and he was just kidding. The villagers were furious and they yelled at the boy for creating chaos and panic. On the next day, and the boy shouted wolf again, and once again the villagers came to help him and saw that there was no wolf. This made them very angry again. On the same day, the boy saw an actual wolf that has terrorizing the sheep. The boy cried, "Wolf! Wolf! Please help me," and no villagers showed up as they believed that the boy was joking again. Moral of the story: don't play with people's trust. When it matters the most, they won't believe you.